On a hillside near Mount Ararat in Turkey, this mysterious boat shape is believed by some to be the actual historical remains of Noah's Ark.
The world is fascinated by stories, myths and legends from the Holy Grail to Noah's Ark, and we're forever trying to find proof that these things exist. I think the hunger for the search is the fact that people are searching for God. And so if someone finds the Ark, then it could be proof that God exists.
Over the years, many religious explorers have searched the Middle East, hoping to prove that the story of Noah's voyage on the Ark during God's Great Flood is the literal truth.
It's been a big thing among adventurers for centuries. In fact, Marco Polo, way back, said the Ark is on Mount Ararat, when he said, unfortunately, the mountain is too snowy to climb.
During the 1970s and 80s, astronaut James Irwin, who'd become a born-again Christian after returning from the moon, made many expeditions up Mount Ararat in search of the Ark, but failed to find any evidence of it. Today, the unusual boat shape discovered over 30 kilometers south of Mount Ararat may be the best hope of proving that Noah's Ark actually existed, and that amazingly, its remains have survived to the present day.
When they get about 8 feet down, 8.5 feet down, we're starting to see some parallel vertical structure. And then as we go down a little bit deeper, we get down to right at about 9 feet, we actually see an intersection of that parallel and a horizontal. So we're actually getting right angles.
Whoa.
Underneath the ground.
Oh, you can see it right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
You've got almost like a little cavity where you've got a right angle being created.
It's like 3 or 4 right angles.
Mm-hmm.
So is there no way this could be natural or what?
Typically, you're not going to find straight lines and right angles in a natural environment. That's man-made items, yeah.
It will take considerable time for the raw data to be fully processed. So for now, the team's initial interpretation of the data is all there is to go on.
Well, this is just raw data. It's not processed yet. We can't tell what it is, but typically right angles don't exist in nature. So this kind of leads you to believe that there may be something man-made under there. I think it definitely gives enough to say, hey, let's investigate further. Let's start digging up. Let's see what this is.
Skeptics, however, are concerned that Andrew Jones and his team are simply finding what they're looking for.
There's a phenomenon called pareidoia, and really it means that you kind of see what you want to see. And if you've invested a lot of your personal identity into a faith that has an idea such as the Earth is 6,000 years old, there was a global flood, it makes sense that people who are out looking to prove this are going to start finding evidence that other people aren't seeing, and that doesn't hold up to the science.
Historically, throughout the history of archaeology, throughout the history of history, when people want to find something, they often mistake what they found for the thing they wanted to find.
All in all, skeptics doubt there's any chance that the story of Noah's Ark is the literal truth. The geological evidence from the Durupinar site, along with the similarity of ancient Mesopotamian flood myths, and the logistical challenges of building an ark and populating it with the world's largest zoo, lead skeptics to propose other explanations. Most likely, perhaps, the story of Noah's Ark derives from a catastrophic regional flood in Mesopotamia or elsewhere in the Middle East thousands of years ago, which was vividly remembered in myth and then passed down to biblical times.
One of the important things to remember with all these myths is that no matter how old they are, underlying them, there could be some element of truth. In Genesis, it says that he should take 1 pair of every animal. Now, that's not even remotely feasible. But that doesn't mean that there may not have been some story that went down in myth that people remembered about some person or group of people saving some local animals from a particularly disastrous flood.
And I suppose that some guy living on a farm in the remote part of wherever it happened to be at the time, Mesopotamia, could have been a huge flood to him and his neighbours. They probably never ventured more than 20 miles away in the whole of their lifetime. So that was the world to them.
Andrew Jones, however, continues to search for proof that the biblical story of Noah's Ark is the literal truth. He remains hopeful that if he can get permission to excavate the Durupinar site in the years to come, he'll be able to find sufficient proof to convince even the most staunch skeptics that this unusual boat shape really is Noah's Ark.
Ultimately, we hope to find a ship buried below the ground. And this would include rooms, floors that would match the biblical account. And the Bible talks about having 3 decks and rooms for the animals. And so that's what we hope to find below the ground there.
Whatever the truth may ultimately be, Andrew Jones' quest to find definitive proof for the existence of Noah's Ark, the smoking gun that could prove the Bible is literally true, will undoubtedly long continue.